Hey, it's Grady at Twin Creek Audio, back in the studio today, and today I want to take another look at the Interface Electronics Series 100 mixer. Today I'm going to open up this master section and clean some of the controls here, mainly the track outputs, because that's what I'm using, those transformer balanced track outputs with the XLR connections on the back. And I'm also going to pull a module or two to clean these stepped gain controls here, and on the ones that have trouble. I'm not going to go into this a whole lot today because I need to clean off my workbench. So I'm going to have to work on it right here, which may be a little bit awkward until I get my workbench clean, and then I'm going to do a more thorough job and clean all of these. But today I'm going to clean these up and take out a couple of these, and I'm going to film it so you can see the guts of this console or mixer, whatever you would call this. This thing is awesome, and as you'll see coming up, the way this was built was exceptional. It's really cool and also very serviceable. So let's check it out. See if I can get these track controls cleaned up at least. Now I'm just using the camera mic for this video today, since I'm going to have to do a lot of different stuff and kind of awkwardly hold the camera or have it on the tripod. I'm not going to bother setting up a high quality mic and syncing audio and all that for this. We're just going to take a look at this little guy. So camera audio, and my apologies for the sound quality on that, but hey, the camera mic. So I don't know if you can see that, but these are AB mod pots, which is Alan Bradley mod pots. And then Mallory caps here for these VU meters. And little driver boards for the VUs. And then a whole bunch more of those mod pots. Got to figure out how to clean these. That's really the only problem with this little mixer, is that these are dirty and scratchy, and some of these VUs are stuck. That could be these caps. Anyway, we're going to work on it. Get it back 100%. So I basically just took the back off of this pot so I can spray the cleaner down there and clean these all up. I just took 3 of the screws out so that I wouldn't lose any of the parts there, and swung it to the side. So let me get these all cleaned up. Here's the inside, the motherboard. Over there on the left, I don't know if you can see them, those big electrodes or relays, probably for the solo functions. And there are the 4 track out XLRs. But over here, that's where all the outputs come from, and there's a bunch of transformers. There's a big transformer right there, which my guess is that's the power transformer, and then over in the corner underneath some of these other channels are 4 output transformers. I'll see if I can open the rest of this up so we can see that too. So I've got these 4 buses, the pots for these cleaned up because they were scratchy when I was doing the demonstrations of this board. So those have been spray cleaned, and I didn't do all these down here because I'm really not using those much yet. and it's a little awkward doing that here standing up, having to hold on to this. So I'm going to wait till I get my workbench cleaned off and then clean the rest of these. But I'm going to go ahead and take out one of these modules so that I can film it and show you guys the bias transformers and the inductor EQ and stuff on the module. I don't know how well you can see that, but down there, those are the output transformers for the 4 track outputs. I took out that one module. Now you can kind of see that down in there. This thing is nice and clean on the inside, and all the wiring is run, down here along the bottom of it over to the master section. And up here we can see where the channel cards plug in. And there's the motherboard connection for the channel strip. And you can see some of the wiring for the connectors on the back. So here's one of the 104K modules, and this is kind of the back side of the board here. This is the bottom of the transformer. And I was filming this side so I can show you this is a Duncan potentiometer, slide line potentiometer. It's a 10K. So that's the fader right there. And these are the switches pre and post for the Q sends, and then the switchable frequencies for the EQs. And here's the top side of the board. I think I'm correct in saying this only has one electrolytic capacitor on the whole thing. And there are 2 ICs. One is a 4558 CP, and the other one I think is a 1458. It's hard to see though. These are the inductors for the EQ, and then your gain, which is this big switch here, step switch, and then your pan, which is this down here, like the ones in the master section. The sends and the EQ are these smaller pots, and of course there's your Bayer mic input transformer right there. I'm just hand holding the camera so we can see this thing. Really nicely built, and it sounds very good too. I'm going to clean this one up while it's out, and of course migrate to the bench so I can do a little bit more cleaning on this. But it already works, so I think we're going to have a nice successful cleanup job on it without much work. Even if I had to recap that, there's not that many electrolytics in this thing. I see one on this entire channel strip. Something else I've got to test is, you see on the modules you have Q1 through 4, and they have a switch, and the first 4 being labeled pre or post. Well, on the side of the mixer you've got Q sends 1 through 4 Qs here. You've also got echo send 1 through 4, and you got a couple of echo returns down here, and these are pads, which is basically a level adjustment for these echo returns. So I'm wondering if the switches on the modules, when they're pre, they go to these 4 outputs, but if they're post, they go to these 4 outputs. I'm not sure yet. I've got to do some further testing, but it's pretty interesting, kind of a mystery how that works. But it's awesome you got all that extra functionality here on the side of the mixer. Got the Interface Series 100 cleaned up a little bit, so we'll get to test that out, and I'm sure you'll see this in a future video. But I'm going to stop this video right there. In the next video that I do about this, I may test it out, or it may be on the workbench for further cleaning if I test it and it's still having problems. But if you want to hear what this sounds like, go back and check the series of videos that I've already done. At least 3 of those have audio examples using this little mixer for the mic preamps and for summing. So I'll put links to those videos in the description of this video. And I appreciate everyone watching. Hope everyone has an excellent day, night, evening, weekend, weekday, hour, minute, second, nanosecond, whatever it is you're having. Have a good one, and thanks so much for watching.